Africa has a rich history with powerful empires that influenced the world. One of the most famous civilizations was ancient Egypt, which started around 3000 BCE along the Nile River. The river provided everything they needed to survive. Egyptians created amazing art, architecture, and writing, hieroglyphics. They were deeply religious, and their beliefs shaped their leadership and burial customs. During the Old Kingdom, they built the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and the pharaohs were seen as gods with total power. Egypt became strong again during the New Kingdom, 1550 to 1077 BCE, with famous rulers like Hatshepsut and Tutankhamun. But by the Third Intermediate Period, 1077 to 656 BCE, Egypt weakened due to invasions and conflicts, eventually being controlled by the Assyrians and Persians. Despite this, Egypt's influence on science, art, and culture remained strong. To the south, the Kingdom of Kush, now Sudan, rose around 1070 BCE. It had close ties with Egypt, sometimes ruling Egypt and other times being ruled by it. Kush developed its own culture, influenced by Egypt. The Kingdom of Kush's rulers, known as the Nubian pharaohs, even adopted Egyptian titles and built pyramids in a similar style. During the 25th dynasty, 760 to 656 BCE, the Kushites ruled Egypt, with Pharaoh Pi being the most famous of them. He conquered Egypt, unified the country under Kushite rule, and brought back many traditional Egyptian customs and religious practices. Under his leadership, Kush reached its height in power and influence. The Kingdom of Kush eventually fell due to strong resistance from the Assyrians, who sought to expand their control in the Levant. Despite some successful military efforts, the Kushite rulers were eventually defeated, and the Assyrians took back control of Egypt. Though the Kingdom of Kush survived for a few more centuries, its influence weakened significantly. Moving westward, we reach Carthage, a powerful city-state in present-day Tunisia, known for its naval strength and dominance in Mediterranean trade. Founded in the 9th century BCE by Phoenician settlers, Carthage grew into a major empire, controlling parts of North Africa, Sicily, Sardinia, and Spain. Its history was marked by intense rivalry with Rome, leading to the Punic Wars. The First War, 264 to 241 BCE, was fought over Sicily, with Rome victorious. The Second, 218 to 201 BCE, saw the famous Carthaginian general Hannibal lead a daring invasion of Italy, but he was eventually defeated. In the Third War, 149 to 146 BCE, Rome destroyed Carthage, ending the city's power. Next, we visit the Kingdom of Aksum, located in modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea. Aksum rose to prominence around the 1st century CE due to its strategic location along the Red Sea, controlling trade routes between Africa, Arabia, and Rome. The kingdom prospered through trade in goods like ivory, spices, and gold. In the 4th century CE, King Ezana converted to Christianity, making Aksum one of the earliest Christian kingdoms in the world and leaving a lasting cultural and religious legacy in the region. The Kingdom of Aksum reached its peak in the 4th and 5th centuries CE, expanding its influence into the Arabian Peninsula, Sudan, and the Nile Valley. King Ezana, the kingdom's greatest ruler, played a key role in shaping its history, leaving inscriptions in Gayas, which provide insights into Aksum's politics and religious changes. However, Aksum began to decline in the 7th century CE with the rise of Islam and Arab conquests, which shifted trade routes and weakened its influence. Despite this, Aksum's Christian heritage survived, laying the foundation for the Ethiopian and Eritrean Orthodox churches, which continue to thrive. Moving west, the Mali Empire became one of Africa's most legendary empires, known for its vast wealth, scholarship, and culture. The empire grew powerful through the trans-Saharan trade in gold and salt, and gained independence in the 13th century under Sundiata Keita. Mali expanded into modern-day Mali, Senegal, Gambia, and Niger. One of its greatest achievements was the city of Timbuktu, a hub of commerce and Islamic learning, attracting scholars from across the Islamic world. The empire's most famous ruler, Mansa Musa, is remembered for his wealth, especially during his pilgrimage to Mecca, where he distributed so much gold that he disrupted economies. Despite its decline due to internal conflicts, invasions, and shifting trade routes by the 16th century, Mali's rich cultural legacy still endures. The Songhai Empire became one of the largest and most powerful empires in Africa, emerging from the remnants of the Mali Empire. Located along the Niger River in West Africa, it dominated the region during the 15th and 16th centuries. The empire was founded by Sunni Ali, a brilliant military leader who expanded the empire through conquests. After him, Askia Muhammad took over and strengthened the empire by improving governance, promoting Islamic learning and developing a strong administrative system. The Songhai Empire had a well-organized government with provinces managed by appointed governors and a central authority overseeing taxation, trade, and military affairs. Despite its strength, the empire fell due to internal conflicts, weak leadership, and an invasion by Moroccan forces in 1591. Although the empire collapsed, Songhai's contributions to African history, trade, and governance are still remembered. Its capital, Gao, became a center of commerce, culture, and Islamic scholarship. And the city of Timbuktu thrived, attracting scholars and spreading Islamic knowledge across West Africa. After the invasion, Songhai fractured into smaller states, and its once prosperous cities declined. The Benin Empire in present-day Nigeria was known for its rich culture and beautiful bronze and brass sculptures. It grew through trade with neighboring states and Europeans like the Portuguese. The capital, Benin City, was famous for its strong walls and fortifications. The king, called the Oba, held both political and spiritual power. In 1897, British forces attacked Benin City, looted its art, and exiled the Oba, ending the empire's rule. Despite this, Benin's cultural and artistic legacy continues. In southern Africa, the Kingdom of Zimbabwe is known for its impressive stone buildings, particularly Great Zimbabwe, built between the 11th and 15th centuries. Great Zimbabwe, one of Africa's largest pre-colonial stone cities, was known for its large, mortar-free stone walls. It was a major political and economic hub, controlling trade routes that linked southern Africa to the Indian Ocean. The kingdom grew wealthy through gold mining and trade with Swahili merchants, Arabs, and Asian markets. The kingdom declined in the 15th century, likely due to overpopulation, resource depletion, and changing trade routes. Despite its fall, Great Zimbabwe's impressive ruins remain a symbol of Africa's rich history and architectural achievement. The Kingdom of Ghana, located in present-day Mauritania and Mali, was an important empire known for controlling trade routes with gold and salt. Starting in the 6th century CE, Ghana's rulers taxed merchants passing through and built a strong government and military. The capital, Kumbisale, was a busy city with separate areas for Muslim traders and the king's court. However, the empire eventually weakened due to invasions and internal struggles, and it broke apart in the 11th century after an invasion by the Almoravid Berbers. The Kingdom of Aksum, located in northern Ethiopia and Eritrea, was one of Africa's most influential civilizations, beginning in the 1st century CE. Known for its tall obelisks and strong trade networks, Aksum was a key link between Africa, the Red Sea, and the Mediterranean. The kingdom prospered by trading ivory, gold, and spices. Aksum was also one of the first to adopt Christianity as a state religion in the 4th century, which deeply shaped its culture. However, by the 7th century, the rise of Islam, changing trade routes, and environmental issues led to its decline, and by the 8th century, it broke into smaller states. The Zulu kingdom, founded in southern Africa in the early 19th century, became a powerful force under the leadership of Shaka Zulu. Shaka introduced new military tactics, including the bullhorn formation and the use of short stabbing spears, which helped the Zulu expand quickly. But when the British Empire colonized the area, the Zulus fought in the Anglo-Zulu War of 1879. Despite early victories, they were eventually defeated, leading to British control. However, Zulu culture and identity remain strong, and today the Zulu people continue to be a key cultural force in South Africa. Grew strong in the 18th century by controlling the gold trade and was known for its rich culture and art, especially in gold jewelry. The empire was governed by a well-structured system with the Asantehene, king, at the top. The Ashanti people fiercely resisted British colonial rule, and although the empire declined, The Ashanti culture and identity continue to play a significant role in Ghana today. The Yoruba Empire, located in modern southwestern Nigeria, was a powerful and culturally rich state. It began in the 14th century with the Oyo city-state and expanded through diplomacy and military conquest. The empire was governed by the Alafin, supreme ruler, and had a strict hierarchy with control over trade routes. The Yoruba were famous for their wood carvings and religious practices. However, by the 19th century, internal conflicts and external pressures, including British attacks, led to its decline. The Kanem-Bornu Empire, located around Lake Chad, was powerful from the 9th century. It controlled trade routes and spread Islam. In the 16th century, it grew stronger under King Mai Idris Aluma, but internal problems and European colonization caused its decline by the 19th century. The Swahili city-states along Africa's east coast were key trade centers connecting Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Cities like Kilwa and Mombasa traded goods like gold and ivory and blended Bantu, Arab, and Indian cultures. However, the arrival of the Portuguese in the 16th century weakened their power, leading to their decline. African empires declined as European countries took control during the colonial period. European powers divided Africa without considering ethnic groups, leading to exploitation and loss of freedom. Colonization caused suffering, and resistance was met with violence. In the mid-1900s, African nations fought for independence. Leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, Patrice Lumumba, and Nelson Mandela became symbols of this struggle. Despite challenges, African countries gained independence and began to build their futures. In recent years, Africa has made progress in areas like economic growth, education, and health, though many challenges such as political instability, corruption, poverty, and conflict remain. Development is ongoing, and there are still many complex issues to address. Africa's history is rich and interconnected, from ancient Egypt to the Mali Empire, Benin's art, and Axum's religious legacy. The decline of many empires linked to colonialism led to the post-colonial era, bringing both challenges and opportunities. Today, African nations strive to build their identities and tackle the lasting effects of colonialism. The legacies of Africa's great empires live on in modern cultures and traditions, inspiring people to understand the depth of Africa's history. Thank you for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share these important stories.